During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have me penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor? Rat!
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A always be aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news,
You're
guys.
hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you just
Lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking egg.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Oh, snap. 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. You know what that means. This is the talk show with more pre-show drama than Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
The show that refuses to bend the knee to any self-appointed leaders of the new right. You're listening to the #1 right-wing comedy news show, according to all Peoplekind. Mersh, Royce Lopez, ready to bring you the straight dope. And a lot of stuff to get into. It was
We're not making friends, I guess, is what we could start with, right?
It was yeah. Oh, you talking about old Demi?
Yeah, real quick, because I posted
Demi Lovato or
Laudner.
What's her name?
Laudner. If you saw yesterday's show, and if you haven't, I recommend you do. We played a comedy bit by Demi Laudner on the Tom Ballard show.
Yes, by the hilarious female comedian from Australia.
And thank you guys, by the way, that were letting her know we were talking about her.
Yeah, thanks, Mob Tech.
We appreciate it.
Fucking asshole. I didn't even know he was doing. I didn't even know this nigga was stirring the pot. I had to go. I looked up to see, today with her what had happened, and I noticed Mob Tech had tweeted to her while we were alive.
Yeah, and she didn't block us at that point.
No,
she blocked us after Mike made a 1-minute Twitter video of us talking about her.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like the hard bashing.
No.
I just left in the don't clap, and that was enough to cause us to be blocked.
Can I say there was so much to make fun of her? We barely even got to her looks. We were just judging her purely on her bad comedy, and it was
touched
bad.
on her looks,
but not as much as we normally do, is what I mean.
Well, yeah, no, because to be fair,
there's a lot to work with.
Yeah, we could have done a whole show about this broad's face. She's terrible.
Just. Anyway,
she looks like a pre-surgery loomer.
You should have seen her before the haircut when she had the baseball cap. She looked like the kid from The Sandlot. Like,
which baseball cap pick? Because there was
backwards baseball cap pick.
Yeah, but there was one. Oh, okay, because there's the one with the front baseball cap. She kind of looks like a girl. Kinda.
Or like the kid from Problem Child.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Whatever happened to that kid?
I don't know. Remember?
Oh, somebody go find him. See if he'll be on the show.
I'm sure he'll be on the show.
See if he can get off at the Wawa
That would be
early, and he can maybe come
Wawa,
on.
Sunoco, Wawa. He wishes.
I couldn't pass the background check.
I make the boiled peanuts at the Sunoco down the road.
Because like most child actors, I held up a liquor store with Todd Bridges once, and they won't hire me at Wawa now.
Do you know what? That's what happens when you mess with the Bridges.
There was a lot of, I would say at about 3:35, that's where it starts to be crunch time. Royce is like fucking doing his thing where he's either, if he's not doing something, he's pacing like a lunatic, or he is doing things and he's still pacing like a lunatic.
Correct.
Between machines. So he's doing his thing. I'm getting a ciggy and I'm trying to do last minute break, line up the intro, all that. So we're doing our thing. And then I just got hammered and bombarded. Looked up the Demi thing. I noticed that bitch blocked us. Dealing with that. So then I'm dealing with, for those of you, we'll get into it in a minute, but Daniel Cleve, that situation in Nebraska. There's a lot going on right now. Oh, and then we're possibly going to get Cucked Spartan on the show. Based Spartan, I'm sorry, but that's what I've been told he was for years. But we might be getting him on the show, trying to get Daniel Cleve. It just... Oh, and then one of our Hollywood people that I'm not going to name, but somebody with more of somebody in that realm of like anti-lawyer and an open secret, and people that we talked to in that area, they had stuff for it. It just we got hit like
Right.
It all bottlenecked right before the show, so we're not going to get into it all today. But it was a little dramatic, a little stressful. I still don't think I've pooped out all of the meat from the Super Bowl party.
It was a lot of meat.
So that's pretty rough.
Do you want to talk about the Cleve thing first?
Yeah, let's get into this because it is going to be tomorrow is the protest. There is a gentleman by the name of Daniel Cleve. Daniel Cleve was in Charlottesville. Daniel Cleve was at other rallies. Daniel Cleve, I first became acquainted with him when he was sucker punched at a rally, and it was one of those viral videos where somebody got a perfect, they got that perfect shot of him like, meh, and obviously it became a viral hit. But he's no bitch, man. He hasn't backed down, and he's a white identitarian, to use the proper terminology. He's a white nationalist. He goes to the University of Nebraska. He is probably he's a member, from what I know, of American Vanguard. Which is the same group that James Alex Field has been identified as having been hanging around with before he, had his incident. So I got word yesterday that I guess Daniel Cleve was on our friend Blake Lucas' stream one night, and some snippets of that stream made their way around the campus. Now, since then, they've started making flyers, everything like that. So I'm just going to read this news article here, because I guess apparently the college is sort of letting this slide. So this is what I got right now. The University of Nebraska police chief says the department is aware of concerns and continues to investigate after a video of a student in a hate group surfaced. The video is of a Google Hangout with a University of Nebraska Lincoln student.
This is why I don't like using Hangout.
1011
100011 10101. Remember that song?
I'm reading an AM station thing.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
what it is. Has chosen not to name the student. By the way, he doesn't care. His name it's Daniel Cleve.
Yes.
I just told you I was going on. Sorry. The individual calls himself, quote, the most active white nationalist in Nebraska. To be fair, there's like 40 people in Nebraska.
Yeah.
In August, he traveled to Charlottesville for the Unite the Right rally.
Did something happen there?
Okay, so check it out, right? There's this town in Virginia.
Okay.
It's like a running gag on
I'm
this
with
show.
you so far.
You don't even understand, even off the air, how many times Royce will go, something happened in Charlottesville? And I always answer with, okay, so check it out. There's this town in Virginia. Start way at the beginning. In the January 23rd video, you could have invited me, Blake. He also said he wants to be really violent, but now is not the right time. Okay, that might...
Okay, if he said that, that's not great.
that might hurt you. And I'm not gonna lie. I can't say that I didn't see the stream, but I can tell you that I've said some things on Blake's stream when we're cutting a little loose that could be taken out of context. And so anyway, Quote, members of the university and the community have reported concerning videos to the university administrators and the university police department. Proper authorities are aware of these concerns and continue to review the matter. I can appreciate the concern. Sometimes safety professionals have to be very discreet about what they can say regarding such matters. Rest assured the matter is being taken seriously. UNL has received numerous reports of concern about students' activities. There have been demands to remove this person from campus based on perceived safety concerns, affiliation with organizations, and ideologies. Safety officials have been aware and are taking the matter very seriously. Rest assured the safety of our students, faculty, and staff is of the utmost importance to us. We denounce bigotry and condemn violence. This is where it gets good. Got to give these guys props. We also object to activities that strike fear among our students. The campus is comprised of people of diverse backgrounds with different life experience.
Yes.
We encourage civil and respectful discussion of ideas and opinions, even if they may differ from our own.
I gotta say, because we shit on them when colleges do bad. When one of them actually stands by free speech,
We gotta give
you gotta give it to him.
Now, don't get me wrong. If he was on Blake's stream and he's like, let me tell you something, I'm going to show these fuckers in the cafeteria.
No, but here's my thing.
You know what I mean? That
Again,
would be
just
different.
like we want to be judged on context, I would have to hear it in context. Because if it was a joke, you know, like you said, there's stuff you said taken out of context, or I've said taken out of context.
And I can only speculate, but I
Yeah.
can tell you, as somebody who has had many of these theoretical discussions online during Google Hangout sessions, I will make the assumption, at least, that they were probably speaking in hypotheticals, and that somebody did bring up the topic of violent revolution. And it sounds like, given this context, the way he said it, he was probably saying something to the effect of, yeah, I probably feel very violent sometimes, but now is not the time to be overthrowing anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't
Again,
know.
I would have to hear
Yeah,
it.
we'd have to hear
We'd
it.
have to hear it.
And then they ended with, unanimous tips, blah, 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 blah.
Now, that being said, look, again, I'm not into the fucking white nationalism stuff. I'm not. I think I've been pretty clear about that. However, you should be allowed in this country to say and do whatever you want if you're not hurting anybody. And this guy shouldn't have to worry about getting punched when he goes to school. Regardless of what he believes.
No. And he shouldn't. He certainly, if he is not actually actively engaged on campus in any sort of violent or destructive rhetoric, he certainly shouldn't be denied access to an education.
Correct.
Certainly one that he paid for, or at least created the means from which he could pay for it. However, if it's on scholarship, whatever.
And something else, just to think logically here. If somebody's sitting there and they think in a white ethno state and this, do you think a bunch of minorities yelling at him are going to change his mind? Do you think that's the olive branch you want to put out there? Like, hey, if you chimp out on somebody, they're immediately going to just fucking write you off. Again, I don't like him, and I'll be honest, and I'll tell him when you have him on the show. He's a very punchable face, this guy. All right? I'm not going to hit him, but he has a punchable face.
Yes.
Just to be fair,
Wait, which person?
Cleve. Yes. Come on, man. He looks like the good ski team in any 80s ski movie.
Oh, look. If you mean he looks punchable in that sense, I will agree
listen,
with you.
even if it was it doesn't matter. I'm judging him opposite. I'm judging him opposite of Martin Luther King. I'm judging him based only on looks. Forget his background.
Okay.
He looks like an 80s bad guy.
See, but to me, like, there are certain, like, for you to qualify as having a punchable face,
Yeah.
it has to be.
Look at his shield.
I know. Look,
Be honest.
But now you're bringing non-facial features into this.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
We're
But
going
can I
ba-
bring clothes? Clothes should be allowed because if you dress like, you know what I mean? Like that's accessories.
But to me, there has to be a certain element of smugness.
like if he was wearing a cape, you would let me recognize he's wearing a cape, but because it's a shield, I can't.
I'm trying to be objective here, Royce.
I know.
You asked me a question.
I did. That's
trying
fair.
to give you my answer. Okay, I have to look at one's face objectively and decide if it's punchable.
That's fair.
For instance, Bill Maher, good example.
Okay, all right.
I enjoy Bill Maher as a comedian. I enjoy the fact that Bill Maher polices his own occasionally.
He does.
There are things about Bill Maher I enjoy. Bill Maher, almost if you just look up Google images, Bill Maher, and look at any still photo of him, he has an extremely punchable face. People in academia tend to have very punchable faces. I think you just mean he has that look of like you said, 80s bad guy on the ski team.
80s bad guy.
It's like my dad owns the mountain.
Exactly. Bro. His dad owns something, and that's why he got. And again, good.
He's William Zabka walking around lifting the lunch tables and sliding all the kids' food off. He's that guy. He does look. I'll admit, Daniel Cleve certainly looks like a member of Cobra Kai. He does. I get it.
Nigga's got a globe.
He does look like a guy.
He has a globe.
He looks like a guy who would be on the school's rowing team.
By the way, I guarantee you that globe was made before Israel was considered a fucking country.
Yeah, it's probably one
collectible
of those that still says Palestine.
Mesopotamia.
But
again, I want him on the show. I want to talk to him, and I think he should have the right to say whatever he wants.
And we do. I am working on it. It does appear as if we will have this gentleman on Friday.
Awesome.
On the program, Daniel Cleve will be joining us to tell his side. There is a protest tomorrow at the Lincoln University, Nebraska campus. And I will say this. He just told me, and it was very weird because he goes, before I even read the statement, he was the one who actually told me, and I quote, at least the university is going to come out and support me. And he basically told me straight up he couldn't believe it, that they were even going to let this slide. But again, turnabout is fair play.
Couple things.
Fucking you let Antifa talk about overthrowing the government and killing the bourgeoisie and all this shit. It's the same thing.
Couple things. I agree. I like what they did. Couple things. Remember, though, this is Nebraska. This isn't Berkeley. That's the difference, too. It's where it's where it's located does make a difference.
It does.
It does. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Because I mean, there's still people there. I'm sure the university cops and locals are probably like, man, shut up. But there's still, this. Where do you think all these Marxist professors get? They all get dumped off in all these old schools and spread like cancer. Look, there is no difference between what Daniel Cleve is saying in his rhetoric and what your little Antifa chapters are saying in their rhetoric. The only difference is Daniel Cleve rightly believes that most of the 1% that are destroying our country are
Jews.
And Antifa thinks it's white guys.
That's also Jews.
Same thing. We have a problem. We need to deal with this problem. And it's just a difference of, who's doing it. Is it actual white people or is it my fellow white people? So you'd have a hell of a lawsuit on your hands if you were to deny this young man an education or in any way commit any sanctions against him for not breaking any university rules. They're kind of stuck. Because if they want to protect their Antifa kids across the country, they got to let this guy say what he wants.
That's true.
If he wants to put a fucking "it's okay to be white" flyer up, I'm pretty sure not a lot of people in Lincoln, Nebraska are going to be that up in arms about it anyway. But yeah, so I woke up, I was finding out about it. I started knowing about this yesterday, and it was building. And then today I got some messages from Stephanie and a few other people, got some updates, looked into it more. And I did think, oh boy, this is going to be bad. But so far, don't fuck this up, University of Nebraska. You're handling this pretty well.
We actually gave you a golf clap, okay?
Call in some backup tomorrow. Get the local police in there that are non-campus. Make sure, you know what I mean? Keep everything in one piece. However, it's the students I'm worried about now. Like, how does this guy get his fucking education? How does he get his degree when, he's living in a world of where punching Nazis is acceptable?
Well,
and they're not Nazis; they're fascists.
Hopefully, hopefully we get him on Friday. I would like to talk to him
we'll
about
discuss it more with him,
and maybe get more context than what he might have said on the stream versus what they wrote.
But you got to admit, these white nationalist guys, all very handsome men.
Yes, again,
you guys all look.
When I say '80s bad guy, all the '80s bad guys were good-looking kids who get a lot of tail.
All the white nationalists in this country, they all look like World War II propaganda posters.
Hey, want to watch Justin Trudeau.
No, there we go. Boom, moving on. Next
Mansplain to a woman not to use the word mankind.
First of all, don't even hit play yet.
Okay.
This cock-sucking, grown-up cum of Fidel Castro is sitting sideways in the chair. Not even backwards.
He's rapping to them, Mike. He's rapping to them.
Justin Trudeau comes off like a youth pastor who once came dangerously close to cheating on his wife with one of his Sunday school students.
And raps. My name's Trudeau when I like to say using gender pronouns is the only right way.
First of all, I will fucking hit you right now. Why is he in the chair sideways? Like, that's literally like, did he, before they filled the building, right? Did he go up there and go like, all right, we'll try backwards? No, that's like too obvious. Try it regular? Nah, man, I'm not a square. And then he was like, nah, you know what? We'll fucking compromise. Everything's a compromise with this faggot.
Sorry, Canadians.
Take a fucking position. Other than fucking bent over. Other than fucking in the other room while somebody fucks your wife. Pick a position.
Here we go.
This guy.
We have received the Queen's Award in the UK. We have received I have a question.
Question.
Yes, we have received many awards throughout the whole world. However, unfortunately in Canada, our volunteering as a charitable religious organization is extremely difficult. Extremely. That's why in actuality, we cannot do free volunteering to help our neighbors in need as we truly desire.
And by the way, this is her giving him the business. This is how they all talk there.
By the way, I just wanted to say, that we could have more awards, and I don't think enough's being done, to get us some more awards. I'm from Canada. They think I'm slow, eh?
So that's why we came here today to ask you to also look into the policies that religious charitable organizations have in our legislation so that it can also be changed, because maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look into
We
that.
would like to say people-kind, not necessarily mankind.
Who
Hang on. Good night,
is...
everybody.
I got this for a second. Who is we? We. Who is we? It's mankind. That word is not even gendered.
Homosexuals? Cucks? Canadians? I already said cucks.
I think I hate this guy more than Castro. I really do.
Wow.
I'm Cuban, and I'll be honest with you. I think I hate this guy more than Castro. I really do. Because at least with him, you knew what you were getting. He told you he was fucking your country. This guy is sitting there sideways on his chair, fucking with his legs crossed, correcting a woman who just said she's trying to help her neighbors and do free volunteer work with her church, and telling her that entire statement didn't mean anything because she said mankind. I prefer Cactus Jack.
It was like she was going full cuck, and he went, oh, no, lady. You don't out-cuck the cuck.
Hold my IPA.
Hold my fucking grapefruit beer.
Hold my beer that looks like a kid's cereal label.
We would like to say people-kind, not necessarily mankind, because
yeah.
it's more inclusive.
There we go.
And then,
Did you everybody cheering?
did
you hear them cheer?
And then you all pat yourselves on the back. Yay. Aren't we great, Royce? Are we good? Yay.
There's nothing that bothers me more than this smarmy Canadian bastard.
Royce, we like to say childless, fatherless child.
Let me correct that.
Yay!
Nothing makes me more mad than this Canadian childless father bastard. I cannot, because the thing is, I've always had like a standing, the way I am in my life, I would rather deal with people that are honest and visceral towards me. I prefer that. I always prefer that.
It's
Because it's genuine and I could work with it. I've always hated in my life the guy who's like super nice, but you know he's a fucking dick and is just looking to fuck your girl or fuck you over.
You remember The Wire, of course.
Yes.
And you remember the scene where Bunny meets Tommy Carcetti before he's running for mayor, and they go to the shitty neighborhood, and he tells the whole story about the old man who owned the funeral home, and he was a white man in Baltimore. And as the city got more and more black, he would only do funeral services for whites. And he was telling this story, and he was implying that the fucking guy running for mayor is just a slimy, smarmy, trying to be everybody's buddy. And he's like, yeah, he goes, so we asked the old man one day, are you ever going to bury black folk in here? And he goes, yup, on one condition, if I could do them all at once. And then he starts laughing, and he goes, you see, I like that old man, because with him, you knew where you stood. Yep. This is why, if you wonder why people are starting to respect the alt-right more, because you know where you stand with them. Get away from me.
Tasha Rose is correcting us. Not fatherless, you bigot. It's non-birthing parent.
Ah, okay. There you go. That's too many words. I can't do this anymore. I give up. Can you do me a favor, Royce?
Sure.
Can you yell at him in your shared native tongue?
Communist?
No, Spanish.
He doesn't speak Spanish.
It doesn't matter. It's in his blood. It's in his genes.
Yo creo ser tu presidente.
Yo soy Joe Kennedy.
Oh, I'm only gonna even speak to my family in Joe Kennedy Spanish from now
Tu
on.
madre es puto. And she sucked on my pinga.
Tu papa es comunista.
So we'd like you to look.
Now,
we'd like to
please
say people-
come in my wife's chocha. Fucking hate you.
They call that the Bubba the Love Sponge.
Kind, not necessarily mankind, because
yeah.
it's more inclusive.
There we go.
Yes!
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what?
Yes,
You know
Slay
what?
Queen.
You fucking
Slay
piece
Queen.
of shit. At least your fucking real birth father had the balls to murder people himself. He didn't just import a bunch of Muslims to do his work for him.
Do you understand if Fidel Castro saw somebody sitting in his cabinet on a chair that way, he would have him murdered? Like right there, just have him killed. You sit like a man.
Yeah, say what you want about your estranged father.
At least he sat like a man, and he
least they
wore
were-
a fucking military uniform.
Yeah, at least they were macho.
Yeah,
They were men.
give him that. The motherfucker had a cigar in his mouth, and he died like at almost 100.
Say what you want about the Castros and Che Guevara, but they were not fucking pussy. They were not cucks.
They weren't. We
God.
prefer look at the audience, because we're focusing on him.
Nobody's happy.
Look at the audience. There's every man there's gay, or put a penis in his mouth. I'll go that far. I don't know if they're all gay.
Is there any body hair on any of those guys?
Yeah, the Muslim women. Oh, guys. Sorry.
Any of those guys have a single chest hair?
No, I don't think so. I would like to have all their testosterone checked in that room just to see, including Faggot McGee over here.
Oh, he goes first.
Yeah.
No, I
First
meant
in
into
line.
the oven.
Yes, thank you.
We can all learn from each other.
You know what they need to be learning from you? Fucking acting. What we don't need to be learning from you is policy. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Remember when he gave a murdering Taliban fighter $15 million? Remember? I remember.
I hate him so much.
Dude, again, many times on this show, we both have different levels of hatred towards different people. But I cannot tell you, every time I see a story about it, makes my blood boil. It makes my blood boil.
Is it safe to say we hate him more than we hate Obama?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Hands down, right?
Oh, yeah. At least Obama smoked a cigarette back every once in a while and was, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, Obama smoked cigarettes. He ordered drone strikes without hesitation.
Yeah. This
Like, at least
faggot.
even Obama, the man, Mr. $65,000 worth of hot dogs, Obama, little Mr. rumored alleged bisexual Obama, he was still more of a man than Trudeau. He's a fucking man, at least. You know, Obama had swag, you know? Whereas this dude, he's just like, let me sit sideways in my chair.
But the thing is, every time I see pictures of him, and especially fucking thoughts here in this country going, oh my God, I wish he was our president. He's so handsome. What turns you on about him? Like, I get that he's a good-looking guy. Honestly, I could say that. He's a good-looking guy, no problem. But what else? Is it that he's a complete beta male? Is it that if you were in a fight in a bar, this guy would be in the car before the first punch was thrown? This guy's not a man by any genuine term of the word.
But to be fair, I mean, to be fair here, we're talking about a guy, like you said, he's not a man. He offers nothing as a man, but he is very pretty.
Yes.
You and I are both guilty of having slept with women who couldn't cook,
Yes.
couldn't clean, couldn't do shit,
Yes.
didn't have a job, just were worthless human beings.
Correct.
And you still fucked them.
Yes.
I think it's that kind of fact. I think women are just like, yeah, I'd fuck him. I don't think anybody wants to,
No, but why would you fuck him? He'd probably be the kind of guy. He'd be terrible. He's got terrible lay, too. Like, I want to consent to putting my penis in your vagina. Is that okay?
If you're the kind of person who would sleep with somebody just based on looks alone, you're probably also the kind of person that can do all the work.
Mob Tech. He's a creepy, good-looking drama teacher that gets caught fucking a 13-year-old female student. Yeah, it's a good point. I'll work with you after class. Just hang out.
He's like one of the guys from American Vandal.
Yep. Fucking I hate that man more
He's
than anything.
really hateable. And this fucking weird cult of personality he's built. It's just, like, anybody, like, that should be a litmus test for physical removal. Would be just, like, do you like Trudeau? Yes or no? Yes? Cool. Physical
Bye.
removal. You're out.
Bye.
Because it's look at the crowd he's talking to. It's like, you notice every time he's talking to a crowd, it almost always seems to be kids. It's
Oh,
like
of course.
this weird, like,
It's not adults.
these dumb, fucking idiotic high school Canadians. Drop dead.
That's what happens.
We need to build 2 fucking walls.
That's what happens when you vote someone in because of how many fucking sit-ups they could do. This is what you get. You got your legal weed. You guys happy? You better get really high to put up with the bullshit this guy's doing. And again, I've always said it, and I've always stand by it. The only reason you Canadians, and I don't mean the people in Canada, but I meant the government, can do what you guys want, the reason Trudeau could sit there and just be cool, man, is because he has the greatest military in the fucking planet and the country below him protecting him. Because let's say Canada was next to Iraq. You think they're going to be pulling this shit? Well, I cannot. Well, if you fucking keep going, Canada's going to have more Muslims than Iraq anyway. It's bad. It's really bad. They're deporting Haitians, though.
Well, that's why Royce said you got to get really high so you can kind of, bear all of the rapings.
Well, let's move over here. A school has canceled showing of the movie Cool Runnings. Remember Cool Runnings?
Yeah.
The Jamaican bobsled movie? See, I think I have a video here. Whatever, I'll just read it. School cancels movie showing after student claims it's racially insensitive. Drama at Wayland High School over a movie made 25 years ago about a famous Olympic bobsled team. In 1988, Jamaican bobsled team in Disney's Cool Runnings is known by most of the most famous Olympic underdog stories of Wayland High School. The PG movie made for kids 25 years ago has become a source of outrage. Cool Runnings came out 7 years before the oldest students were born, so many of them hadn't heard of it until this week. It's winter week at Wayland High School, meant for students to relax after midterms. Each Wednesday of the winter week features a movie, and the student councils announced it Tuesday that Cool Runnings was this year's pick. But hours later, the principal sent an email to students saying the movie was canceled. Here's the email. Winter Week is a long-standing tradition at WHS in which students engage in enrichment activities during the week following mid-year exams. For the last 2 years, Winter Week has included a movie viewed simultaneously by all students. The viewing of this movie was selected by the student council. It is for the purpose of bringing the school together. Following the recent announcement that Cool Runnings will be the movie shown this year, I received concerns from members of our community that raised my awareness of elements of the movie that could be viewed as culturally and racially insensitive.
Yeah, well, obviously, man. How is it culturally insensitive? It's about a bunch of guys from a country that's only tropical beach learning how to ride an ice. It's not a racist story. It's a fish out of water story.
And John Candy was great in it.
But I mean,
high school drama in Wayland over a Disney movie made 25 years ago about the Jamaican bobsled team. That movie was supposed to be shown, but then a student complained it was racially insensitive.
Oh, hey there, legs.
I would get it if they were just fucking smoking blunts in the whole movie.
But they're not.
You know what I mean?
It's a PG movie. It's for kids,
Fucking
man.
breaking open coconuts and just eating straight out of them. I get that, but this was a fish out of water story.
Yeah.
It would be no more racist than if you said, all right, we're going to make a movie about how these guys from Finland learn how to be on the U.S. surfing team. You know what I mean? And you go, all right, that's kind of...
I'd watch it.
It would be funny to watch Norwegians try to fucking surf. It's not racist. It's, oh, I'm from this climate. Oh, boy, how are we ever going to learn how to do things in this climate? And then they overcome as a team, and they fucking won!
Yeah, there was that other fish out of water scene, you know, the Somali pirate one, where they got the white guy, and they try to kill him. It's a little different.
They even won. It was like, what? Dude, Cool Runnings, it's a terrible movie. It really is.
Of course, but as a kid.
It doesn't age well.
No.
But it's like a heartwarming PG comedy with John Candy. Like, how dare you?
Sensitive.
Boston 25 News reporter Jessica Reyes talked with students today about this controversy.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
The 1988 Jamaican bobsled team pictured in Disney's Cool Runnings is known by most as one of the most famous Olympic underdog stories.
Yeah.
But at Wayland High School, the PG movie made for kids 25 years ago has become a source of outrage.
It's stunning. It kind of like staggers the imagination.
Cool Runnings came out 7 years before the oldest students here were even born, so many hadn't heard of it until this week. It's Winter Week at Wayland High, meant for students to relax after midterms.
You know what? Sorry,
Each
pause
Wednesday of
again.
Winter-
Sure.
For a movie that's centered on these men's collective shared identity as Jamaicans.
Yep.
Working together as a team to learn how to bobsled. For a movie made back in, what was it, the 90s?
25 years ago.
Yeah, so it was the early 90s. In a time when everything was rife with stereotypes
Yes.
and all kinds of shit. Do you remember any Jamaican stereotypes in the movie?
No, they were just Jamaicans.
But
being
that's what I mean.
Jamaicans.
So what's racist about? I would understand if they were like fucking listening to Bob Marley and smoking weed.
But
and
they're
just,
not.
Oh yeah, the man, he's gonna give me some jerk chicken. Yeah, man. Everything's Irie. Rastafari. Okay, I'd be like,
Well, go
on. Right by the beach, boy. Fucking
Rode the boat. Rode the boat.
Half Baked had more fucking offensive Jamaican
remember-
stereotypes
that
in
was
it
great.
than this dumb movie.
Where are you from? By the beach.
Week features a movie, and the student council announced Tuesday that Cool Runnings was the pick this year. But hours later, the principal sent an email to students saying the movie was canceled.
The movie
It read in
violates
part,
our no
"We
fun
have become
policy."
aware of
Instead, we're going to show an inconvenient truth. Or some liberal horseshit movie. Come on. You know what's great? When news places use their own video thing.
No, yeah, it's because obviously small individual media companies are going to put together a way better infrastructure than that one company that specializes in streaming videos.
That's not true.
Jesus, man.
Anyway, so yeah, the kids aren't allowed to watch it because it's culturally insensitive. I've seen Cool Runnings a billion times.
Them can't watch the movie.
I'm really, really sad. I'm really sad that this is what it's coming to because, like, have you seen some of the, like, think about the cartoons we used to watch, right? Have you seen some of them today? Have you seen the difference?
There's no soul in them.
Yeah, they feel like
They're just flash animations with a lot of noise.
Right, yes, exactly. It's just loud noises. And there's a social message. Like, I think Disney had a new one now where they had the first male princess in one of their cartoons. Because everybody needs to virtue signal because that's what every dad wants is their kid to go, I could be a princess. No, that's not what they want. They want to play football. To play catch with them. Let's be realistic about what people want. And stop forcing this shit down our throats.
It's, dude, when I was up in New York to visit my family for Christmas, my nephew's fiance, she watches a couple kids from the neighborhood. She babysits. And obviously, like during the day, it's just fucking all kids stuff, all that terrible. And yeah, that was a notice. The thing that stood out to me, at least, while I was watching it, I was like, "There's just no soul in these. It's just noise and colors." I mean, at least when we were a kid, like, you know, look, you say what you want about the somebody touching my spaghetti.
That was
meme,
great.
but that comes from a glorious time in cartoons when. You know, like, and a glorious time in America, period, where we kind of embraced our stereotypes and we joked and we broke each other's balls. And you know what I mean? You had, this is why I kind of veer away from the alt-right and the identity politics and the ethno-state stuff, because stop telling me that races and cultures can't coexist, because there was a time that I lived in this country where people all worked at the same fucking factory or unloading the same shitty docks, whatever. And it was black guys and it was Russians and old Italian guys, and they got along fine. And sometimes there were a group being like, "Oh, somebody touching my spaghetti," and they break his balls.
Yeah, so
you know
what?
I mean? You know, they'd be like, "Hey, you know, if like there was a guy named Tyrone that worked at the docks, he'd be like, hey, keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't steal nothing." Am I right? Hey, and they all go to the bar and drink. And obviously, there'd be a lot of jokes about the Irish there. It's fine. We're getting way too defensive about our image. It's getting dumb. And it's even, look, the left is very much the culprit here. They invented identity politics to divide us. They created this culture where we feel the need to go, "That's a stereotype, stop. My people are a no." Nobody's saying they're not.
But this is what I'll say. No matter how much we are, because we don't put up with that shit. We do what we want. But you can't help it. It subliminally trains you. Like sometimes Mike and I will be watching an old movie or something. Goodfellas, for example. And the first thing you think is, oh, like you cringe and you recoil at some of the things they say. Not because I'm offended by them, but now society has deemed these things to be offensive.
Can you believe that shit? Joe brought prejudice against Italians.
That was great. Or the whole Sammy Davis Jr.''s thing, you know? I know what you're saying, but stop saying it.
No, that was a great scene.
Yeah.
No, everybody gets it now. It's fine. Just let it go now.
Stop saying it now, okay?
I'm just saying, you know, I can see how another girl, not me though.
Yeah, not me. Yeah,
it's, you know, it's funny too, because I remember years ago that was my favorite line from Goodfellas, and it's so underrated, it's so understated in the movie. But I've always said my favorite scene is Joe Pesci going, "Yeah, she's prejudiced against Italians." Can you believe that? Fucking Jew pride. Prejudice against Italians.
It's just great.
It's so clever, and people always go with, "Oh, are you talking to me?" or whatever, or "I'm sorry, am I funny?"
Yeah.
But and I used to laugh about it. Back then, we weren't that conditioned. So people didn't find it as funny or as clever. But nowadays, people start to notice that line, like, "That's pretty funny." You're like, back then, there's just the idea that we've always had a little bit of a divide and some competition in this country, but it wasn't as deep-rooted. There wasn't, the anger wasn't there. It was just more of a, like, you know, what kind of people are these?
My favorite line was Jewish lightning.
Jewish lightning.
It's fucking, I love that. But,
I guess a Manischewitz, but it would look funny on my table.
All right.
I've actually, by the way, I've never, ever dated a Jewish girl and not used that line. I've said it every time I've been dating a Jewish girl, which, don't worry, listeners, it hasn't been that many times. It's only like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but when he dates Jewish, he dates Jewish.
I didn't marry him or fucking have kids with him or none.
No, because you don't like breaking things on the floor.
Look, if we say, again, we brought this up earlier, Royce, objectively, let's say that politically right now we got some differences with the chosen people, and we'd like to see some reforms, perhaps. That being said, objectively, Jewish women can be very hot.
Yeah, they're tits. They're the best tits.
I mean, sometimes they're horrendous.
And sometimes they're really hot.
But when you meet a hot Jewish girl, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Had a little bit of had a couple of Chosenites in my bed at some point.
Speaking of Jewish woman, our friend Earthling Ed is back. And this time...
I didn't have to divorce him, Bon. Sorry.
And this time, he's taking on a dairy farmer.
Dude.
What, you don't like his man bun? What's wrong with his man bun?
You know what I wish he would take on? A fucking Amtrak train.
gives from farmers as well. Like, I get death threats sent to me. I have farmers saying they're going to events where I'm at and they're going to hurt me, stuff like that. But most
we got to listen to Great Value Russell Brand again.
You know why you get death threats? Because we've seen what you do to these poor farmers. You corner them while they're at work and start screaming at them. If you had your political views online like everybody else does, and, you know, you were just a vegan and you ate, look, man, eat however you want to eat. I don't give a shit. But when you start fucking forcing it down other people's throat, they fucking will make you give death threats because these fucking farmers need to work.
And let's get something straight, Mr. Ed. Or should I call you Earthling? You don't get death threats because you're a vegan. You get death threats, like Roy said, because you're a twat.
Yes, it's nothing to do with what you eat. I have plenty of friends that are vegans, and they don't get death threats because they don't do what you do, Ed.
Then they're going to go abuse an animal. They're going to go shoot a calf. They're going to go hurt their pigs because I've irritated them. Now, I don't believe that, you know, this is acceptable from any side.
Well, I have a question. Are you actually David Blaine pulling off the greatest trick of all time?
That would be pretty dope.
David Blaine has been, this is his trick, 7 years he's been playing Earthling Ed.
At all, but what I think is really important to note is perspective. And in this situation, it's neither Paul or myself who were the victims.
It's like I started off undercover as Earthling Ed, and then like I was only going to do it for like a month, but then I started getting all these Patreon donations, and I had to keep the lie going.
Notice how frail vegan men always are too. They just look frail.
Yeah, I've never met a vegan that I've been like, oh shit, that guy wants to fight me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more scared of a guy who has a Pall Mall hanging off of his lip and a beer in his hand and works at the docks and is in his 50s and went to, like, you know what I mean?
I'm more scared of a Bull Dyke fucking softball coach than I am these vegans.
But seriously, I would be more scared of like an 80-year-old Korean vet than I would this guy.
Victims. The only victim in this situation is the animal because they're the one that's kind of the knife pulled across their throat. They're the ones who suffer and ultimately die. And although words are not very nice, the actions of what we do to animals are significantly worse.
Nigga, you couldn't fucking brush your hair for a TV spot?
He did. That's him brushing his hair.
No, that is fucking disgusting.
By the way, that's how his beard looks when he doesn't trim it. It just grows in all fucking spotty like that, too.
Yeah, because of a lack of testosterone.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
He said to weave reverse.
You have, as far as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, you've openly trespassed on
What's with his
property.
pants?
Well, he rolled them up, Mike.
Is he going fishing? I'm not sure what's
He's
happening.
getting business done.
Is he, are those capris?
Those are not capris. Those are regular jeans that he rolled up.
For what purpose?
To show his fly socks.
To show his his frail, brittle ankles. His thin little anti-Hillary Clinton ankles.
Oh my God, they look like little chick ankles. Like, you know, like little chickens?
Yeah.
That's what they look like. Oh, you fucking bad.
Remember that scene in Misery where Kathy Bates breaks his fucking
Yes.
ankles? You could have done that by flicking his foot.
You could put, instead of a brick, put a toothpick between them and just hit it with your hand.
Earthling Ed has never played a sport.
No, he
like
hasn't.
even I've
Well,
played
yeah, he has. Smear the queer.
Even I've played sports. Terribly, mind you. But I played them. Earthling Ed has never even picked up a ball and a glove.
No.
Part of your activism, which is not breaking criminal law, it is breaking civil law. Why don't you do what other people do when they object to something, which is write to your MP, write to the Environment Secretary, get a debate going and try to get the law changed using the normal democratic process?
Well, if we look at any social justice movement throughout history,
Well, it's like, because for instance, like, I wouldn't get a lot of attention that way. And then, like, I wouldn't have my little viral videos and what have you. So, like, it's better for me, you know, to go and disrupt people at their jobs and then get that footage. Sort of like a left-wing vegan, sort of like Joey Gibson, Kyle Chapman type, where I show up to things that have nothing to do with me. And then I make it all about me, so that I can make money and get attention and show women what an ally I am to the environment and the earth. So yeah, less about me, which is why, I mean, who wants to write letters to all these MPs? Who has time for that? I'm always at these farmers markets just disrupting people on their way from work and what have you.
So you want a medium or large Coke? I don't.
I don't drink Coke because I don't know if you noticed, but high fructose corn syrup. It's actually the corn is also used as feed.
Why'd you walk in here?
Well, because again, I noticed that like there were people standing online.
It's
getting
noon.
food.
There's like a line.
I get it, but these people all need to pay attention to me. It's all about me, you see, because I'm not, in addition to being vegan, I'm also mentally ill.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Jesus
he should be Baker acted. He really should.
Yeah.
Or whatever the
that only exists here in Florida.
I was gonna say, or whatever the version of that is in the UK.
Laws have always been far behind, and laws always kind of are struggling to catch up with the activism of its time.
Granted.
Now, as you say, trespass is a civil offence, it's not a criminal offence. I think this whole idea that farmers are using...
What kind of fucking loopy laws do you fucking idiots have over there? It's a criminal offence, not a federal. What? I don't know what that means.
It's civil, not criminal, so you know.
Oh, God. These fucking guys still wear powdered wigs in court.
Fear of trespass is a distraction, and they're not scared of the trespass, and what they're scared of is what the...
Hey, you know what happens if you trespass on somebody's lawn in Florida? You want to know what happens there? Come to a farmer's yard. Come to a farmer over here in Polk County. Walk and trespass. They will shoot you with a double-barrel shotgun, and they will go back to fucking milking their cow.
I have to give credit to Kazari in the chat who pointed out, God damn, now that face is punchable.
Also punchable.
That is a punchable
I agree.
face.
Footage and the
When is
information
this?
showing.
I want to see. Look, if anybody listening in Canada, please help me get the word out on this, because he does a lot of these videos.
Yes, he does.
My birthday's in May. About 3 months from now. There's one thing I want for my birthday. I want to see Earthling Ed catch one of those gnarled, blistered farmer fists right into his smug face. I want to see and again, if you've ever seen a farmer's hands, they're like, it's like willow bark.
Yes.
I want to see a fucking farmer's fist planted into the bridge of this faggot's nose for my birthday.
Now, we're not saying we should incite violence. We're just hoping that happens.
Yes, I'm not saying to do it.
No.
What I'm saying is...
if it happens, video it.
I want to see something like that for my birthday. I would want nothing more.
Okay.
And because of trespass, a civil offence, we're showing a whole hidden industry that... I mean, Paul said that...
Do you understand that someone would walk up to my yard? First off, I would take his camera from his bitch hand and go, this is mine now. See this? This is mine now. Now, fucking leave before I take your clothes too.
He dressed like this for television.
Yeah, so what, dude? How would you dress for television? You don't wear your nicest capris?
No. Let me, Royce, let me say this one more time. Let me say it again.
Okay.
This man dressed like this for television. Where does he get off?
I'm assuming on some even scrawnier vegan chick.
On some sort of organic, cruelty-free tube sock.
We got to go to break. Because we have a guest coming up second hour.
Are we going to go shill style? Let's shill it out.
We need to shill it out.
All right. So, guys, money is very good. I like money. So if you'd like to give us some, you can do so. Not only for chances at winning cool stuff, which we've got new prizes courtesy of Dave Goss coming up in the next hour.
Yes. Here's mine.
Yeah, we got cool shit for you. But also, if you listen to this program, if it is a regular part of your deal that you enjoy every day,
It's my deal here, Wade.
it gets better the more resources we have. So if you can donate, patreon.com/We're Not Sorry if you'd like to sign up and give us a monthly donation. If not, of course, you can go to paypal.me/We're Not Sorry if you want to do one time. And also like, subscribe, iTunes, Facebook, Roku. 5 stars everywhere if you can. Take a moment out there. Rate us. Spread the word. Tell your friends. The hottest fucking show on the planet.
We'll be right back. Revenge of the Sis.
February is Black History Month, where we celebrate African Americans who have helped to make our nation the global beacon of strength and liberty it is through their significant cultural, economic, or political contributions. Each week, we at Revenge of the Sis will highlight one of these heroes in our Black History Spotlight segment. This week, we honor American businessman, international shipping magnate, and intelligence asset, Freeway Rick Ross. Born in Texas in 1960, Mr. Ross grew up in Los Angeles, California. After being turned down for a scholarship due to his illiteracy, Rick discovered his entrepreneurial spirit after high school when he began selling small amounts of cocaine. Eventually, he built up an empire that spanned from coast to coast, shipping massive amounts of cocaine across the country and at some points earning up to $3 million per day. Earning the nickname Freeway Rick, Ross made cocaine so widely available that crack cocaine became much easier to manufacture and led to the rapid rise in its use across America's inner cities. While lining his pockets, Freeway Rick also helped enrich the pockets of the American intelligence community, notably the CIA. His influence was felt as far as Latin America, where the proceeds of his cocaine empire helped to fund disastrous coup attempts throughout the continent during the Cold War. As part of our Black History Month Spotlight series, we at Revenge of the Sis salute you, Freeway Rick Ross. Your greed, contempt for books, and willingness to sell out your own people while lining your pockets makes you as American as apple pie and baseball. By teaming up in the Reagan era with the CIA to destroy millions of lives across 2 continents by weaponizing one of the most dangerous and addictive drugs in history, you have earned your place in the annals of Black American history. 4-pound, retarded, premature babies across this great nation salute you, and we at Revenge of the Sis thank you for your service. If you just put in the code ALEX10, and of course, that'll be 10% off from our very already low price of $250 for every 4 capsules.
Hey folks, this is Jay Leno, the star of the hit film Collision Course, and I'd like to take a moment out there and talk to you about the very real dangers posed by Zionism in this country.
I was riding around on my motorcycle out there in the Arizona desert when I was kidnapped by a UFO and sexually assaulted by aliens.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock. The last time I'm gonna ask you.
From all of us here at Revenge of the Sis, we'd like to thank each and every one of our friends and fans for helping us become one of the fastest growing breakout shows on the internet. In less than 1 year, we have been able to bring you news before it breaks, as well as the funniest and most consistent political and social commentary around. Here are some ways you can help us continue to grow our brand. Sign up as a contributor by going to patreon.com/We're Not Sorry and pledging a monthly amount. Anyone who pledges $12 or more is eligible for occasional giveaways and prizes. And if you pledge $25 or more, we will promote your brand or product live on our show. We understand if you are unable to commit to a monthly recurring donation, but if you would like to contribute one time, you can do so by going to paypal.me/We're Not Sorry. Another unique way to help our show expand while also promoting your own brand or service is by modeling one of our shirts. Go to teespring.com, search for Revenge of the Sis, and you'll find plenty of options to choose from. Take a picture of you modeling our shirt and email it to revengeofthesis@gmail.com. That is revengeofthecis@gmail.com. Be sure to include a web address or a social media account for whatever you want us to promote, and we will feature you on an episode of our show. Since YouTube is now throttling our traffic and Twitter has us shadow banned, there are many other ways you can help without giving us a dime. Every time you invite a friend to like our Facebook page, retweet or share a meme from our social media accounts, or share one of our videos to your own pages, you are helping us to get discovered by more like-minded individuals who will join our ranks and help us grow. Rate us 5 stars on Facebook, Roku, and iTunes. Encourage others to follow @ROTC Media on Twitter. You can also help ROTC by supporting friends of our show, such as LA Werewolf, Connecting Right Radio, Radical Mothering, Folklore Americana, the Mad American Network, Wolfman's Activism and Entertainment, and the Revolutionary Conservative. Find all of these links and more by going to our brand new website, revengeofthesis.com. The most exciting 2 hours of television is back with an all-new Revenge of the Sis. As Royce and Mersch continue to track an international deep state pedophile ring, their journey to the nation's capital is put on hold as Orlando's best police cops receive a cryptic message from an old colleague.
It's a message from my old partner. He needs to see us in Los Angeles right now. Says it's related to our case.
Do you trust him?
As much as I trust you, partner.
What's to know then? A detour from their original investigation finds these no-nonsense detectives in the middle of Hollywood.
Thanks for meeting me. We can't talk long. They're probably following me.
Who's following you?
The Podesta brothers. They've got eyes everywhere, Lopez.
Now trapped between deep state globalists and the Hollywood elite, Lopez and Mercer are on the case. They're no longer avenging Orlando. They're saving America. And this week, they're taking on Pedowood.
I've been working this case. This Dan Schneider guy, producer at Nickelodeon, he's into kids. Or feet. Or kids' feet.
Yeah, the iCarly guy.
How do you know all this?
Thanks for meeting me.
No problem, Miss Bynes.
This is Amanda Bynes? Jesus, she looks terrible.
Dude, she can hear you.
Watch this week as the web grows bigger, the case becomes more complex, and more older model cars get wrecked and plenty of nameless extras get shot. This week on an all-new Revenge of the Sis, followed by Nazi Lawyer. USA. Hotels don't have Netflix. Do you like pranks, guns, and jokes about retarded people? Well, so do we, but odds are your liberal snowflake friend doesn't. How would you like an easy, cost-effective way of screwing with that friend anonymously without losing your Twitter account? Guns for Tards is the perfect way to trigger SJW anonymously through the mail. For a low fee, your target will receive a beautifully designed professional mailer from our fictional Guns for Tards charity, containing a thank you letter for their donation. They'll be led to believe that money was donated in their name to a charity that advocates Second Amendment rights for the mentally handicapped people in their area. For a few extra bucks, they will receive pictures and a detailed profile of a retarded person who they helped harm. It's all fun and games, well, except for that idiot who gets this in their mailbox and freaks out. Messing with someone through the mail is effective. Most people do it trolling over the internet, but regular mail is way more invasive. Whether it's a boss, an ex, or a liberal professor you don't like, this is the perfect way to screw with someone anonymously for the cost of a cup of coffee. Well, a cup of coffee in Manhattan, in a fancy coffee shop. Check out www.gunsfortards.com and select a package today. Use promo code MERSH for 10% off.
Have an opinion you're too afraid to say on Facebook because you might get doxxed? Want CNN to stop knocking at your door asking for your opinion? Call the We're Not Sorry hotline, 407-630-9636. No threats. We will play it on the air. And you know what? Let's keep the racial undertones PG-13. That's 407-630-9636.
And now a woman who knows about shaming firsthand, supermodel Gigi Hadid.
All right, everyone enjoying themselves? How's that filet mignon?
Go ahead.
You know, we're all here for a really important reason. Because everyone
Randy,
should have
Randy,
a safe
we've got a
space
problem.
wherever
What?
they go.
Reality's here.
But of course,
He's trying to
that
crash the
takes a lot
party.
of effort,
Reality?
a lot of resources.
Who let him in? Shit!
Is that with your donations, we have
Nice wine, huh? What do you think of that? You know what I think of your pretty flowers? There you go. How do you like that?
All right, buddy, let's go.
I shit on all of you.
Seagal?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Give me that, you stupid bitch. What a lovely charity event. I suppose you're all feeling pretty good about yourselves, hmm? What have you done? You've raised $300 by spending $500,000 on filet mignon and crystal glasses. Look at you, Vin dipshit. You say fat shaming is wrong, so in response you show off your abs. You're the one fat shaming, idiot! What's the matter with you people? You're sad that people are mean? Well, I'm sorry. The world isn't one big liberal arts college campus. We eat too much. We take our spoiled life for granted. Feel a little bad about it sometimes. No. You want to put all your shit up on the internet and have every single person say, hooray for you. Fuck you. You're all pricks.
Second hour. Revenge of the Sis. Thank you for staying with us. Today is our Tuesday show, which is not to be confused with our Monday show or our Thursday show. Thank you for joining us, guys. We actually want to remind you to go to patreon.com/we're-not-sorry. Every dollar helps. All the money goes into the show. We don't use it on anything else. Haven't bought any video games with it, although I want to. The new Monster Hunter looks pretty good. We have a guest coming up, Mike. If you want to set it up, I will get him on.
We do have a guest joining us once again on the program. One of our good pals, probably one of the greatest supporters of the show, and one of the nicest guys I know. He is the founder of so many things. We're going to try to keep up with this. He's the host of Connecting Right Radio, of course. Founder of TrumpSingles.com, which I am rocking the shirt of right now. And then, of course, PoliticalPranks.com coming soon as well. And Dave Goss joining us on the line. What up, Hot Goss?
What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good so far. We're all rocking your shirts. I'm wearing your Russia Hacked My T-shirt shirt. So I love that one.
Glad
Thank
you like those.
They're great.
Yeah, we're calling you Hot Goss now. That's your new nickname.
Yeah.
Is that a new nickname, or is that a nickname I just became hip to?
That's new. You just made it up. Usually I get Boss Goss. So
Boss
Hot Goss
okay.
is a new one.
Yeah, that was actually LA Werewolf was the one that I forget what he even asked me one day, but he asked me something regarding you that wasn't anything personal, but he was just like, "Hey, you friends with?" And he was like, "Yeah, you friends with Hot Goss?" And I'm like, I like that, Hot Goss. But
I like that too. That's awesome.
So what's up, brother? What have you been up to?
Oh, nothing, dude. We're just really trying to get this political pranks off the ground. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be doing a soft launch on February 15th. You can send pranks to people. That's what it is. And so we have 3 cards that we're going to start with. And with the cards, you can send. There's going to be like this snowflake confetti that you can put in there. They're all kind of snowflake oriented. So you just send it to a liberal to piss them off. We also got these really cool little Trump butterflies. So you wind this little fucker up right here, and then you stick it in a card. Well, actually, it'll come to them in the card already. They open it up, and it pisses them off. So it's gonna be. We got that. We got the T-shirts, and then we also you can upload a picture of your friend. We'll put a little snake saying something about you're gonna be around your little snowflake friends, and we'll throw them in a snow globe and send them to your little liberal buddy to. So he feels like he has some friends around him that are other snowflakes. So that's the big thing that's going on. But the radio show's coming back. We had to take a little bit of time off because the liberals really went fucking hard on us over the winter break.
And this wasn't because we had you on with the other situation. This is the other situation, right?
Right. So, because and know what my nickname between my now 2 other defunct co-hosts is that I'm Teflon Dave because they're going after my co-hosts. They never go after me. Well, they tried to go after me for being part of a 3%er group, but that got shut down real fucking quick. But they've gone after the other 2. So I'm actually on my 3rd co-host now. We're going to be coming back this Sunday, and for our show, like when I'm here talking with you guys, I get to kind of be myself. I like to cuss a lot, I like to say shit, but we're on the radio, so we're kind of strapped by the FCC when I'm on my show, so I have to be this kind of like nicer, like calmer Dave, and so it makes it a little more difficult. I got to like catch myself, not to like cuss when I'm on the air, but we also do kind of like. Little bit of a more not to say you guys aren't professional, but a little more like we're doing like a Me Too movement episode on this next episode because we've had this one dude, this total douchebag dude that's been going around. He has about 15 different Facebook accounts, and he just goes around and fucking harasses women. And as soon as they say, "Hey, leave me alone," or "Hey, I don't want to go on a date with you," then he starts railing on them, starts sending them random dick pics and shit. And he's just been a total asshole. And they've been trying to do something about this, trying to like get him to calm the fuck down. But his dad is a sheriff out here, so everyone's and his dad has basically said that he's not going to stop the kid. So it's kind of putting us in a tough situation because we're big law enforcement supporters, but right now we got to be like, well, this guy's got to be in a fucking douchebag. He's allowing his son to go around and just like be a total asshole to these women. So we got to do this this episode and kind of bring light. We're gonna call the dad out on this one. So it may be some more issues for us. We'll see what happens, but we'll see. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, and I just hope I don't get pulled over every day for the rest of the next few months because of this.
Wait, is this your local sheriff?
It's a deputy, a deputy that's within. But the sheriffs out here, they all take care of each other, you know. So, but I have a bunch of friends that are that are at our local station here also. So I think I might be okay, but I just don't, you know. It's going to be tough because, you know, we've heard stories about retaliation issues, especially with this guy. So it's going to be. We're going to call him out. We're going to say you need to fucking wrangle your son in. You need to stop protecting him from being a savage piece of shit. And hopefully we don't get any blowback from it from the sheriff's department.
Well, that's nuts. Now, when you said earlier that people were going after your co-host, what were they doing?
Well, we talked about the first issue was that I talked about last time I was on was with Sean. Calling Kamala Harris a cunt,
right?
On our previous podcast, and so that became kind of an issue. Sean decided that he wanted to go on and do this woodworking business, which has a very appropriate name called Morning Wood, and so he's going off and doing that. So and he just decided through all the job and all the bullshit to just like step away from the show. Then I had this other guy on who he basically was he was a former Marine, he's a Marine vet and a former LA sheriff deputy, and he was dismissed from the department over some bullshit, and basically he pushed some kid got out of his he was taking two kids in, a male and a female, taking them into holding. On the way there, the male kid got out of his seatbelt, and so Matt pulls the patrol car over, gets out. The kid's struggling, so he just grabs the kid by the forehead and just pushes his head back. Like, nothing brutal, right? But the kid goes in, said there's no issue, said he's not having any pain, he wasn't abused, no nothing. He goes through the holding, gets put in jail. As soon as he gets out of jail, then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I got abused by this fucking cop. So and this is the same time that there was 3 other court cases going on for police abuse within Los Angeles County. 2 officers had killed an unarmed homeless dude. One guy had 13 confessed rapes for women that he was taking in, and I forget what the third one was. So the LA Sheriff's was under, you know, the LA Sheriff's always are under some sort of scrutiny out here. And so they wanted to kind of make an example. So him and 2 other guys who didn't really do anything wrong got put the hammer to and got kicked out. So all the fucking libtards decided to go and say that he totally beat the shit out of this kid and all this, and this is why he got dismissed and everything. And he's been trying to get past this shit for 5 years. Like, these people have no, like, they have no conscience at all, because this, like, he has kids that go to school out here. So his kids are all of a sudden are starting to hear that like that his dad may have beat the shit out of somebody. Oh, wow. And so it's like fucking affecting his life and everything. But the idiot super hard liberal, super far left, they have no conscience for leaving somebody's family alone. And lucky for me, you know, it's just me and my wife. My wife knows that everything that they say is pretty much bullshit. Everyone that knows me out here, I've been in Santa Clarita my entire life, so everybody fucking knows me out here anyways. So everything that they try to throw on me never worked out. That's why I'm safe. But Matt decided to step down, and we decided to take a 4-week break. We just replayed some episodes. And it was bullshit. And now I'm on my 3rd co-host, which I had to finally vet, like what are your skeletons, motherfucker? Like, tell me what's going on, because I did not want to go through another fucking co-host. So I have this dude named Tom that's gonna be on. He's a good dude. He's very logical. He's also he's a military vet also. He's fluent in Japanese. He just loves fucking talking Japanese for some reason, but so he just, so we'll just be having a conversation. All of a sudden, it'll start like "Jing Jong Diane." I'm just like, "What the fuck are you saying?" but it's, you know, it's gonna be. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna keep going. We're not gonna let them keep us down. And the big thing for us now is that before we were mostly live stream through the radio Facebook page, and then we're on 1220 AM, which is like listening to like some radio station in the 1940s, like when you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was scratchy as fuck. You couldn't hear anything. But as of February 1st, the station is now on 98.1 FM. Oh, nice. So we reach all of Southern California now.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Big upgrade. See, but I used to like listening to those stations back in the day. Like, if I was out driving like late at night, like across state, I would be the AM stations I'd be digging through. But this was back when you could still find like weird, like really weird stuff, like
Coast to coast.
Yeah, like
Overnight. That stuff was great.
Yeah, like whenever we go out to, like, if we do some late night trip out to Vegas, we always end up listening to some fucking crazy, like, tinfoil hat UFO AM radio show or something like that. And that shit was hilarious. You know, we like shit like that. But when we're trying to get some sort of message out, it kind of sucks when you just hear,
Yeah, that's a good point.
oh, yeah, hi, the whole time. So we're happy to be on FM now. But yeah, so. How are things going with you guys? How are you? I mean, I get to talk to you every once in a while. Royce, I barely ever get to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm doing good. You can message me whenever, man. I'm as bored as Mike is. Well, I'm busy, but you know, I can always use a break from all the bullshit.
I'm not bored. I'm working all the time.
Oh,
I'm just always in front of a computer.
Dave, I have
There's
a question
difference
for you.
between sitting around and in front of a computer.
Wow, he gets I just triggered him.
I work hard
for the money. Dave, has anybody told you look like a young Mark Summers if you became a biker?
Well, I think my next venture is going to be a revamp of Double Dare, but
I love that.
A little bit more controversial.
Super sloppy Double Dare.
Exactly. How many times can you call a woman a female a cunt before she gets triggered? You know.
Well, that's
Something
easy.
Like that.
Once, normally for me, once. And by the way, I just want to say, Kamala Harris is a cunt. Come at me, bro.
Right. But dude, I still can't believe that this dude Brian Cafario's camp called up her office to try to tattle on us. Like, he called up her office and said, "We just want to let you know that there was this that these guys do a radio show. They used to have this podcast, and on one of them they called you a cunt."
Good.
And she was like, "I don't give a fuck. You know, but that's the least of what I've been called."
Yeah, she was probably angry that she had to take that call. Like,
That's
she
a good
ran
point.
to the phone, took the call, and was like, "Are you serious right now? I have 4 other things going on."
Right. She's a state senator. She's got other shit to do. She's got illegal immigrants to protect.
But but no, to answer your question, Dave, we're doing all right. We're being just as divisive in your home state as you guys are.
Yes,
so
that's
we're
a very
having
good
our
point.
own. We're having our own West Coast problems. You know.
Good thing we're in Florida. Good thing we're in Florida.
Yeah. The West Coast patriot movement out here is kind of in a fuck situation.
Oh, we know. We know.
There's so much, like, no one can get on the same fucking page as each other. We're never going to have a Republican governor because we have half the people that are going to attack Travis Allen, which I think, I'm not a huge fan of the motherfucker, but he'd be better than Gavin Newsom, who's going to fucking destroy us. We're gonna have a bunch of Republicans begging for Jerry Brown to come back, and Jerry Brown is fucking awful.
I'll put
and
it.
it's good. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm going to put it into an analogy that people can understand because our audience likes wrestling. So think about this as 90. If politics were 90s wrestling, the East Coast Patriot movement is sort of like the WWE locker room, and the West Coast Patriot movement is very much the WCW locker room.
Yeah.
There's really no boss. Everybody's just fighting each other and doing drugs and carrying drugs around in their fanny packs and banging each other's wives, and you're like, dude, get a grip.
Oh, I can't wait till you guys have Cuck Spartan on. Dude, that guy is a douche. That guy is the worst. I've had a couple interactions with him when I went to a couple of the rallies out here, and he is remember we were talking about how there's people that are just out for, like, trying to make money that don't really want to do, like, really be a part of the movement, but just see it as a potential to make money. That's what this guy, he's like doing that, but without making the money. It's like he just wants the fame. He just wants to, like, be noticed. The big issue with him was when there was an anti-Muslim rally, and he went on the side of the pro-Muslims groups. And so everyone that thought that he was on our side or thought that he was on, like, the side of the anti-Muslims, all of a sudden they're, like, seeing him over there. He's throwing up, like, a bunch of, like, weed signs and shit like that, and that's where he went south. And then we did this and then shortly after that we did a rally down in downtown LA, and him and fucking Nick Abbott and are fucking walking around.
Our boy, shout out to Nick Abbott.
Do you know how much after every episode there's people that just go, "Hey, great episode. Nick is still a faggot." Like, those are the comments people always leave on our videos.
Nick is so unique. He's one of my favorite people. But anyway, continue.
But it's him and so it's Nick Abbott and him just cruising around with a little, like, rocker box speaker in a red Flyer fucking little wagon, just playing, like, stupid ass music, while the rest of us are, like, all in a group trying to protest this like feminist movement that's coming down the street, and he's just sitting there walking around just yelling out nonsense on the street. It's like watching a homeless dude. It's a little like just watching a crazy homeless dude.
What kind of music? What kind of music was he playing?
I think he was playing like some Led Zeppelin. He's playing some Van Hagar.
Oh, what a hack! And he plays shit music on top of all that.
Listen, fucking.
And I think, and then he tries to play like some like patriotic music every once in a while, but you know, like no one's gonna get mad at God Bless America, but then they'll play like Rick Derringer, I'm a real American, the Hulk Hogan theme music.
Let me say this. I don't know if Dave Goss has been hacking our emails or something like that, because we literally were just having a discussion 2 minutes before the show today that we were going to have him on next week. So it's just funny that you bring him up, because I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna have Spartan on, and also I don't know if anybody caught Nick Abbott's little meltdown last night.
Another one?
No, but this one was even good for him. This is why it's good. I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't noteworthy.
Okay.
But somebody sent me a screen crap.
No, that's
pretty,
proper.
Pretty apropos
proper
for Nick Abbott. But somebody was like, dude, check his Twitter right now. He's losing his mind. And all I saw was something about a ukulele, and I'm like, what? Okay, look, there are certain things where you know right away. You're like, all right, well, strap in. We're in this one. So I'm like, all right, hop in. Let's do this. We go to Twitter. He's got a video where he's basically holding up a ukulele that I don't know if he fished it out of a dumpster somewhere. And he's like, I'm going to try to learn the ukulele in 5 minutes. And if not, I'm just going to smash it or whatever. And I swear to God. And then it's like literally a 10-second video. He's like, I'm going to sit here and try to learn, blah, blah, blah. And then like there's a tweet like 10 minutes later, and he's smashing a ukulele like he's Peter Frampton, like out of his mind. But it's outside at a very shady-looking, like a 7-Eleven parking lot. And it's like a silhouette of him frustratingly smashing this ukulele. And I'm just like, this timeline just continues to deliver every day.
You got to hit me up and let me know when he's doing shit like that so I can get in on the fun, because that kid is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And he's a barrel of laughs. That's all the kid is. He's a barrel of laughs because he's off his fucking rocker, and I don't know where he thinks that he's a part of this movement, that he's helping anything, but he's just fun to watch and just make fun of. Like he's like that kid in school that didn't care what anybody thought about him and just acted really fucking strange and weird, like ran into poles at school and shit like that. Yep. And you're just like he's an idiot, but like I can't say anything like real negative about him because he's just fucking being himself and being stupid. Like that's about it. That's all you can say.
It's impossible not to have. And I mean, I see people that really get into it with Nick Abbott, like, oh fuck you, leftist infiltrator and all this stuff. And I'm just like, to not have some level of affection for that guy, it's just like, for me, I love Nick Abbott. It's one of those things where, yeah, it's frustrating, but you're like, I love that kid. He's smashing ukuleles and, making these weird videos about people. And I'm just like, dude, he made a video about us a couple days ago, yelling about LA Werewolf and us. And he's literally going, yeah, they're fucking, bashing good patriots out here. They're hurting the movement. But you should also check the show out. They're pretty good. And I'm just like, what is happening?
Odd. It's a very odd thing.
It's just that fucking weirdo, dude. He's that fucking weirdo that you just sort of tolerate. Like, you don't want to like hate him, but you kind of do. But at the same time, you still want to just tolerate him just to see what the fuck he's gonna do next.
Yeah. Do you think the West Coast movement is ever going to get their shit together? Because it seems to be deteriorating, like you were saying earlier, so quickly.
No, I don't think it will. And one of the biggest problems is like I said, we talked about before, is the people that are in it for the money and fame, as opposed to the actual helping out and trying to make California red again, trying to like get us some good fucking Republicans into office, get some so that they don't have the supermajority, so that they're not putting, so that the Democrats in Sacramento aren't putting laws into effect where we're getting taxed up the ass without us having a say in it. So and until they fucking get that together, because you know what, half of them don't even have fucking jobs. They're out there asking for money because they don't have a fucking job, and they want to just go to rallies and be seen and be known, and then get paid to go to fucking rallies. And it's like, well, maybe if you go get a job and do something, you have a little more self-respect for yourself, and then you'll be able to actually like bring something to the fucking table. But it's getting, and then the constant infighting. You know, I just like I don't even care to follow these people on Facebook, but I do just to watch the drama unfold. It's hilarious. There's certain people that are on one side or another. You know, like all of a sudden, Antonio Foreman, he's getting a lot of shit right now
From Nick Abbott.
Yeah. From Abbott, he's getting from quite a few people, because there's still a bunch of fucking cucked fed fans out here, and it kills me. It's like this dude cracked somebody over the skull with a fucking stick once. Now all of a sudden he's a goddamn hero. Like anybody can go can go do that.
Well,
like,
Chapman, and from what I'm hearing from very reliable people, Chapman and Joey Gibson are very much in cahoots with each other. And their whole little group has a lot of overlap. They all work together. And from what I know, Joey Gibson was down in San Diego at Chicano Park Saturday, sort of on Chapman's behalf. And to me, you know what I mean? And they're like you said, they're going after Foreman. They're going after a lot of people that, like literally, I've seen a lot of footage of Antonio Foreman outside of the stabbing thing, which is bad enough. But I've seen a lot of footage of Foreman being a stand-up dude, like being at these rallies and not antagonistically starting shit, but very much willing to step up should people start some shit. He's one of those dudes. And he's pretty much more of a he's the antithesis of a Kyle Chapman or a Joey Gibson. He never wants attention. He doesn't want it to be all about him, but he shows up ready to throw down if need be, and he quietly walks people through parks and you know what I mean, that kind of shit. And it's gross, man. We still got fucking Gibson's people coming after us. Yeah. Fucking look, if you're listening,
We're being bombarded by boomers.
If you're listening, I love you, Pam. You're a nice lady. But enough, okay? I understand he's your buddy and you want to defend him, and that's fine. And I do not even fault you for that. But don't ever fucking say that we don't do our research or that we do hit pieces on people. Honestly, I hate to say it, Pam, I like you, but fuck you for even trying to imply that Royce and I are in the business of just defaming and fucking with people. Stir up drama and views, bruh. Because, trust me, we ain't killing it. Go look at our fucking, at our YouTube channel or any other things. It ain't Joey Gibson driving up our ratings. You think we're going to fucking start? He's not the Tupac to our Biggie. So stop it. Yeah. Get a fucking grip on yourselves. Your guy is not as clean as he makes himself out to be. He's not this... He gets all these fucking boomer bucks for YouTube cucks, as LA Werewolf likes to say, where he does his little, hey guys, I just want to do another live video and let's all pray that that his spirit touches all of us. And if you see anybody at that rally on Saturday, you call him a faggot and you punch him in the face. You can't have both.
You can't have both. Pick one.
He doesn't get it, and you see that shit all the time. The Patriot prayer stuff.
So fucking.
There's quite a few of them out here that are actually getting bigger and bigger. You got there's a girl named Haley Adams.
Oh yeah, we know Haley.
You've heard of this one also?
We know Haley. Oh yeah, she's a busy girl.
And her and I remember when I first heard about her, when her and this other girl, Nikki Salantri or whatever, started really fucking going at it. Yeah. It really like Nikki was just like, oh, she just sleeps with anything that fucking has an American flag and a dick, and they were going at it. What's that? They're both white. Yeah. Well,
no, I said Blair White. You said American flag and a dick.
Oh, isn't that the transgender?
Yep.
Oh yeah, the one that totally that's a total trap queen that totally fucking traps. I see her post shit, and then you see all these dudes like, you're so beautiful, you're so hot. I'm gonna message you this and that. And I'm just like, these dudes don't even fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, at least Blair White's actually hot. You know what I mean? You give it to Blair White, she's actually hot. But I've seen the other one interviewing people, and it's just like, so how about we all have some unity? But yeah, no, and to look, I know Nikki Cilantro listens to the show as well. Nikki, to you, I say, you need to stop harassing Haley Adams, okay? Having high morale in the Patriot movement is a very important thing. We need to keep morale up. And look, it's just like in old, World War and Vietnam and Korean War, certain young ladies would be employed to keep soldiers' morale up. You know what I mean? Sometimes they'd let them on the base, you know, and let's just say she'd carry a lot of flags. That kind of thing.
Got it.
Yeah,
it's good for the movement.
So we have that going on. We have all these patriots.
Everybody needs to be
patriots that are
careful.
fighting each other.
Everybody needs to be careful before you catch based HPV.
I think they all got it already. But the other problem out here in California is, so here's the newest thing that's come up. They want to fucking ban plastic straws.
Yep. And they're going to start, and I believe I read somewhere that they want to pass a bill if a waiter or waitress gives you one without you asking for it, they could be fined $1,000 or something like that.
Or go to jail.
What? Yes. These for straws?
I don't know, man.
If you can't pay the $1,000, you can go spend 10 days or 20 days in jail.
Personally, I'm not ever a big regulations guy. I want to fucking outlaw plastic containers anyway.
Why?
Because there's a lot of legitimate studies that are showing that like the bisphenol A and all that stuff, and it's like making all these soy boys even more soy boyish and more queer. And
yeah, but I want a straw. I don't want to put my mouth on the same mouth that some other dude sucked a cock and then drank a Coke out of. I want a straw at a restaurant. Thank you.
If you're a man and you drink with a straw, you probably suck cock anyway.
Oh, I've seen you drink out of a straw several times. Oh boy.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, every hand that you've shaken has touched a dick.
It is true.
Yeah.
So
some of us shake more hands than others.
Perspective. But the other big thing that they're trying to push right now is they want to outlaw meat.
Okay.
Completely in California.
Okay.
Why?
Because it's one, it's cruel to animals. Two, they're still on that whole cow farts cause greenhouse gases shit. They say that it's inhumane to the animals, and there's a couple other things. So they basically want everybody to go. They want California to become a vegan state. So it's not bad enough that we're already a sanctuary state, but now they want us to become a vegan state. So
the problem with that is it's good luck trying to make Mexicans vegan.
Right, and how many fucking Mexicans do we got out here? Like, especially, we got a huge population already, and then we have all the the 800 something thousand illegals or 3 million illegals or whatever that they're trying to keep in here. That they're passing bills saying like, oh, this is going to be for the homeless, or yeah, we're going to put it on to we're going to charge you an extra 52 cents per gallon in gas so that we can improve roads. But only 20% of that is going to go to the roads. The other 80% is going to go to help the illegal immigrants stay in California.
But my dreamers.
So, I was having a fucking fight with somebody on Twitter yesterday, even though I know you shouldn't do it, but I do it anyway. And they were like, "Oh, California is the 6th largest producing economy in the world." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're still bankrupt." And like, "No, but the thing is," I go, "No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're using more money than you're making. It doesn't matter how much money you make."
Because this guy did try to say that it was one of the best economies in America, and I was like, because you're on basically a respirator known as the federal government. And then they were like, well, we're almost as large as Russia. I was like, size does not equate fiscal solvency. There are many large companies that vanished overnight.
Enron.
They're like, oh fuck, we don't have any money. That's it, we're done.
And if you think, and honestly, a large, like, while they're stating all that, there was a huge, like, something $1 billion accounting error. This missing money.
Whoops.
And we were actually in debt. We're forecasted to be the biggest economy, but if you look at our numbers right now, California is in debt, and that's why they continue to raise taxes. That's why they continue, because also for every 2 4-person family and then 2 individuals that leave California, 1 4-person family comes in. So you're losing almost double the amount of people as they're coming into California. And so for them to maintain the amount of money that they're trying to continue to build a fucking high-speed rail, don't even get me fucking started on that piece of shit.
So Black Lives Matter could block it like they did in fucking Minnesota before the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and why didn't they just hit them?
That's what I said.
If you like, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to sound like an inhumane dick, but no, if you get in the middle of the freeway, if you get on a railroad track, if you get on anything like that, just fucking just prepared to get hit. And
yes.
If you die, you fucking die. End of story.
If he
Population
dies, he
control.
dies. Just do the Rocky thing on them.
Yeah, if he dies,
Well,
he dies.
but the nation, this is just from today, a serious push for free college in California. A ballot initiative campaign to restore tuition-free college in California is gaining momentum. And could other states follow? See, on top of all that, now you got to pay for everyone's college.
Yeah. And
But the
the
thing
thing
is
is all
you guys
people hear
don't-
is free.
But it's
all they hear is free. They don't hear where is the free coming from.
Yep.
But eventually, it affects everyone. Like, where are you going to get that money from? Not other Californians. You get the money from everywhere else. So it's like everybody goes, well, who gives a shit about South Dakota? There's barely anyone there. Oh, so they should just have to divert all of their resources to you so you can have water and you can have fucking, free. Like, I would even understand if California actually tightened up and made an effort to fix itself and kick out illegals and kind of, clamp down on certain things. And then some massive disaster happens that like wipes out the entire West Coast. I'm all for helping California. They're part of our country. But when you're not, it's like just handing money to a gambling or drug addict in your family who makes no effort to clean up their act. Eventually, it's like, look, I'm not cutting you off because I don't love you. I'm cutting you off because you're just wasting my resources.
Yeah, and that's all they're doing, and they're not. We're all Jerry Brown called all tax-paying Californians freeloaders because we don't want to help out illegal immigrants. So now we have our governor telling us that we're the ones that are actually paying for this shit, but we're the freeloaders.
Unbelievable that he had the balls to say that.
You're spiritual freeloaders because you're racists.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Oh, I am white, so I'm racist no matter what. There's nothing
That's
I do,
fair.
and I'm literally like the epitome of white. Like I did that fucking DNA test. There is nothing that's not white about me. German, Irish, English, and Scottish. That's like some people that get that little like 2% African or I'm from like some Spanish or something like that. No, I'm literally the whitest fucking person in the world.
Yeah, and the problem is what scares me is that again, how many votes every presidential election come from that state? That's the problem. And if we give amnesty, the next step the Dems are going to want is voting rights for everybody too. And before you know it, a lot of states that used to go red start going blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's already happening here. This last election, 2016, I just wanted to see what happened. I walked in, I pulled out my ID, and the woman flipped the fuck out. Now, put that away. Put that away. No, you can. No, I don't want to see that.
Why?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so weird that you're voluntarily showing. I don't want to see it. I want to make sure. I don't want to know anything.
Yeah. Like I was gonna do is make it easier for her to find my address because they have to look up the address on the little sheet and everything. And she's like, no. So I could walk in and literally say that I was anybody. I could say that I was anybody. I could go to multiple poll stations and vote in multiple times in the same election. That's what they're allowing. That's what they're allowing to happen. And they're gonna. I guarantee you. In June, when our primaries come up, they're going to bust people in to my city alone. They're going to bust people in to vote for in the congressional race because the cuck dude, Brian Cuckforio he's losing now. After he attacked us, he dropped 10 points in the poll, and Katie Hill went up. And I guarantee that they're gonna try to bust people in and try to get him the nomination.
And that's, again, to your credit, and I have to give Dave credit and, his work credit. When I was going off the other night when we were having our little argument with some of the West Coast people, you're one of the only guys I know that actually is trying to do some activism. I mean, yeah, there's others, but I don't want everybody fucking emailing me later that you're angry. But you in general are actually like telling people what candidate is who. Like you're trying to educate people a little bit better, and then I think some people are just out for attention. So I just want to give you props for that because you're always discussing some sort of a candidate or a charity or a thing that's making your town better. So it's always like, why can't you guys be more? Can't you just take over the West Coast Patriot movement?
Right. That's what I want it to be. I want it to be not so much about let's go and we have plenty of people that want to go out and punch commies in the face. Like that's great.
It's fun.
Anybody with ears.
Yeah, but I want people to be educated on what's going on, know which candidates that are out there, who they should be voting for, and what we need to do to make California fair again. It's going to be we're long off from California ever being a red state, but at least let's at least try to get rid of the supermajority, make it fair for the Republicans and the conservatives in California, and make it so that the Democrats can't just pass a blank sheet of paper and call it a budget and then spend the money however they want. That's literally what they did with the last time that they had the Senate had their budget meeting, that they literally passed a blank piece of paper and then approved a blank piece of paper in 24 hours and said, okay, here's the budget. So that gave them basically free reign to spend the money however they wanted. And that's fucked up. That's my money. I want to see where it's going. I don't want to just see a blank piece of paper and then all of a sudden you're just going to say, oh, well, you'll find out later where it's going to go.
And again, it's this is what I always say. It's really easy to be a right-wing activist in Texas, in Dallas. It's really difficult to do it in California because, as we've seen, I mean, like you were saying, they attack your co-host, they attack you. You can't go anywhere. If you go to the wrong fucking rally, you could get fucking sucker punched in the face. We see it happen all the time, and it's that's. Kudos to you because, I mean, that's going into a battle where you're already outnumbered, that's like the Spartans compared to the fucking army just surrounding them, It's rough, man.
And the thing that fucking trips me out is that the left is such pussies that they're one rally that we went, not one of the rallies we went to, like where I said where Cuck Spartan was walking around with his little radio flyer fucking a wagon.
Sounds like a fucking Ron Howard movie.
Right. Yeah. But there was 10,000 feminists, leftists, whatever, so marching down the street. There was barely 100 of us. And we were all standing there, and we were not backing down. We were going to stay in a little area that the LAPD's kind of said, hey, just stay in this fucking area. Don't cause too many problems. And we stand there, and they're all 10,000 of them are walking down the street. And yelling at us and saying that we're the problem, saying that we're the violent ones, that we're the ones that are causing the issues, and it's like there's 10,000 of you, there's only 100 of us. If we were an issue, we are not an issue. We're just standing here with our American flags, just trying to support our president and say that you guys are being a fucking bunch of bitches. But for us, to have them try to run over and have to have some of the cops block people from running into our area. And then they say that we're the violent ones. We're the ones that are trying to cause a problem. It's just it blows my mind. It's just they're stuck in this bubble that they have no fucking clue what's happening on the outside.
Well, do you know why, bro? Because what you're forgetting is Drumpf, LOL. That's the thing. That's my problem is that it's not even like you could have a. Mike and I talk about it like in the 80s, I remember some people were Democrats, some people were Republicans, but at the end of the day, everyone was cool. You would have debates and, it was like no political talk at their dinner table. But now it's first off, it's not even reasonable arguments you're getting back to. You're just yelling John Oliver memes back at you. How do I work with that? How am I going to have a conversation with you? Yesterday I told you the guy that was saying California's not in debt. I'm like, no, it totally is. Here's a CNBC article saying that it is. Yeah, well, if that's the case, then I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't really care what Samantha Bee told you yesterday, And I think the problem is a reasonable discord is going out the window. And even internally, like we were saying, we can't even get people on the same side to talk anymore without being, you fucking cook, you're controlled opposition. Like, all right, you know what? I guess nobody get along and then nothing gets done.
Yeah. And one of the biggest problems, not to get all serious political, but one of the biggest problems that we've had over the past, probably I'd say about 4 or 5 years, is that politics has gone from being logical to emotional. And once it becomes emotional, when's the last time that you went into a fucking rage and made some great decisions? You don't do that.
Yeah.
But when you're calm and you think and you use your head, you tend to make better decisions. You never heard somebody that was in a flash domestic dispute and then shot his wife and is like, well, we were yelling at each other, but I sat down and I really thought about it and I said, you know what, shooting her in the head's a great idea. It's always I went into a rage, I didn't know what I was doing, I lost my mind and I shot her. And so you make the worst decisions. It's like making a decision at 3 a.m. Like nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Nothing good happens after midnight, but nothing good happens after 3 a.m. So making a decision, or 2 a.m. So making a decision, a rash decision at 3 a.m. is not going to be beneficial for you or anybody else. And people need to just calm the fuck down, use their heads, just be level-headed and think about what you're doing before you do it. But they just want to run out and scream at the sky and like I still do not understand why people think that yelling at the sky at the top of their lungs does anything.
Because if you think about it, like we're talking about it for many years now, but it's when you are accustomed to getting a trophy, when everyone was like, you can't give everybody a trophy, everyone can't get what they want, and then it's like, no, it's fine, they're beautiful. Problem is, when you're used to screaming and getting what you want, that becomes inherent in you, where it's like, I'm just going to scream and I'm just going to cry it out. Look, again, like you said, 50% of Mike and I's time off of air is either one or the other of them talking the other one off of the edge or the cliff, so we don't make a rash decision. I don't know what would happen if we didn't talk each other, because just inside we're like, you want to do something crazy, calm down, let's think about it, because you need that level there. But I think the problem is when you don't have anybody to tell you, hey, how you're being unreasonable, and immediately anyone that opposes you is a Nazi, is homophobic, is misogynistic, you're already a losing battle. If you're going into something and someone thinks you're a Nazi, they're not going to listen to you.
No,
they're not.
And when they constantly push that label out, which I think this is exactly what the DNC, the left, whatever, wanted to do, was that they didn't want anybody to listen to us. Like there's this super hardcore left dude out here. He moved out here. I'm pretty sure that Cafario brought him out here, or the DNC, somebody, the DCCC brought him out here. But he's the one that writes a lot of the stuff that's against us and everything. And I have another friend who's a very, very level-headed, very logical leftist. And so we talk and we hang out. And he said, hey, I'm gonna go have lunch with this guy. I'm like, good luck. And he said, and then he messaged me and he's like, hey, I'd like this guy his name's Anthony. I'd like Anthony to actually get to know you as opposed to the you that he has in his head. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm down. We'll go have a couple of beers and hang out. And he said, what day are you available? So I'm good to do Tuesday night. And he said, all right. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, oh, he pussed out. Which this guy's blocked us. He blocked me and Sean. He blocked Sean on Facebook because Sean was holding a gun in his profile picture.
What?
That's how. Yeah, he's scared of guns.
Was he on his period?
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was. This is the same guy that at a town hall meeting came up to me with his daughter in his hand and said and threatened me and physically threatened me. Said, if you cause any problems here, you're gonna have problems. And I literally laughed at his face. Like I was because I'm just sitting down in a chair right now, but I'm 6'3", 220 pounds. I'm not a small dude, and so to have this little 5'8" dude with his 3-year-old kid in his arm come up and physically threaten me was just one of the funniest things that's ever happened. And and that's why when people say something like oh, I'm gonna I could punch you in the face, and they're like, oh my god, he's threatening me, and I fear for my life. It's like, really? You're just being a bitch.
No, but it's my point, man. I remember I've had fist fights with best friends that I'm still friends with today. It happens. And what's happening now is everybody wants to be able to say whatever they want without any sort of with impunity. They don't want anyone to question what they say. They don't want to have the consequences. Look, we're all about free speech. We are. But for example, I always use this as a reference point. I have the free speech to go walk in the middle of Compton and drop the N-bomb. I could do that. However, I'm expecting consequences. I'm not going to get it scot-free. I'm probably going to either get shot or punched into next week. These reporters want to go out there. And the thing is, like you said, they don't want to change the image they have in their head because then they can't write anything. The moment they humanize you and make you a person instead of their idea, that's it. They lost everything.
Exactly. And that's the biggest, and that's why a lot of these, because there's a lot of leftists out here in our town of Santa Clarita that they have this little group, and they say, if you are friends or if you even talk to anybody that's not part of our little group, then you're done. You're not with us anymore. I lost a couple of people that I was acquaintances over that, which is fine, but the other ones, the ones that have still talked to us, they're the ones that are now they're getting told that they're not true Democrats, that they don't really stand for what they believe in.
It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. At this point, unless you are a fucking full Marxist communist, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah. And can we all just admit that Trudeau is fucking Castro's son?
Yes, he has to be.
You do not get cheeks like that that look exactly the same from a fucking different dude.
I'll tell you what, Trudeau.
Exactly fucking like him.
I will pay for the DNA test. There you go.
Exactly.
I'll pay for the DNA test.
And no one is allowed to fucking say that he isn't until we see that goddamn DNA test, because there's more evidence that he is than there is not at this point.
He's a puss. And of course, like I said, I'm Cuban, so I hate Castro. But he's even a pussier version of Castro, which in my mind is grosser. It's grosser to me. I hate that man more than anything.
He's a pussier version of Obama, too.
That's a good point.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah,
I was saying that earlier in the show, man. I think I hate Trudeau more than I hated Obama. At least Obama had some swag to him. At
like
least
I
he
said,
came off like a man.
At least Obama smoked a cigarette once in a while. You know what I mean? Like
and he ordered a drone strike without hesitation. So he's not like Trudeau's like, sorry.
Just so Mob Tech knows, Chelsea Clinton's real dad is Janet Reno.
That has to be. That makes sense. Now the similarities are striking.
She does look a lot like that other guy, though. That's not
Chelsea Clinton's a very handsome woman.
So
we got to wrap. Holy,
we do have to wrap it up.
Wow.
That's why we got to shill. Most importantly, we have to allow our friend Hot Goss to shill first.
Yes, Hot Goss. What do you got to shill for us?
All right, well, we got the Connecting Right radio show, which you can find on the KHTS radio Facebook page, because most of you are not in Southern California. If you are, 98.1 FM. That's Sundays, 7 to 8 p.m. Political Pranks will be up February 15th for our soft launch. Go and help us out there. Also, for all your listeners, on the 15th, if you order anything, put in the promo code ROTC10 and you'll get 10% off your order.
Look at that.
On the 15th.
Look at that. These shirts are cool, by the way. I fucking love them.
Look at that. We're officially like Ben Shapiro, but with nicer eyebrows.
And then TrumpSingles.com. We're having some issues with it right now, but it's up and running. But it might be a little slow. We are in the process of building an entirely new site because the platform that we have now is not that great, but it still works. Go find someone, love them, fuck them, do whatever you need to do. You don't have to worry about being called a racist on a date. So thank you guys again for having me on. I always appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome.
No,
we got to get you on again.
No, you are fucking awesome, sir.
There you go. All right, man. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Real quick, I'm going to be at CPAC. So I can maybe I can kind of live stream or do something with you guys through that while I'm there.
All right,
well,
that sounds good. Hell yeah.
Anything we can do to support you while you're out there.
Yeah, dude.
All right, appreciate it,
brother.
guys. Have a good one.
Take it easy, dude. It's Dave Goss.
I love that, man.
He's the best.
He is a very cool guy.
It's
friend of the
time
show.
for us to chill, my friend.
I've posted the shit out of his links on both our Facebook and our Twitch chat rooms. Please be sure to follow Dave and his show, of course, Connecting Right. And we're going to shill our own stuff right now. Sign up before Friday the 16th, 10 days from now. We're going to have our big live show there on YouTube, breaking out of Facebook jail. And anybody who donates or pledges $12 a month or more through our Patreon has a chance to win some cool stuff. Trump slippers, some of these shirts.
These shirts, I am jealous. They are great.
ROTC stuff, mugs, all that shit. Patreon.com/We're Not Sorry. If you want to just give one time, you go to PayPal.me/We're Not Sorry. Help us out, show some love, and like, subscribe, share, and invite your friends to like our Facebook page. It'll only take you a couple minutes, but hey, you help us out when you do that.
And if you like the music of this episode and of every episode, it's C. Thomas Howell, SEETHOMASHOWL. You can buy his album on Bandcamp. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Just search for C. Thomas Howell. His music is great. I can't wait till he makes more stuff. We're going to be back
Thursday.
All right, guys, we're out of here.